Hey, it's almost time. Oh my gosh, it's like the middle of June, almost July. People for the gym program and maybe other programs will be arriving soon. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But that means you're probably in the midst of packing or starting to at least think about packing everything away and figuring out what you need to bring to Japan. So I thought that I could give a little wee list, tell you things that I brought and then like things that I wish I didn't bring or I wish I did bring, and then little packing tips, So let's get into that. I'm so excited. Let's get into that. So first of all, my cohort, New Zealand, rep New Zealand, 2025, New Zealand 2025 cohort, we had one suitcase paid for on our ticket. Have a suitcase, a carry-on, and a personal item, which I had as my backpack. We were warned that if we brought more suitcases over, they may not be allowed on the plane for like storage or something. I don't know. I was just like, I don't want to have to get all the way to Christchurch and be like, oh, not even Christchurch, like Auckland, and then the people at the airline be like, actually, you can't take the suitcase over, because I had no one to give it to. So I just went with my one suitcase that was packed and overweight, so all I had to do was pay the extra overweight baggage fee as I went through each airport, so I had to pay it 3 times. But like, please listen to the travel agent that is assigned to your cohort, your group, and I guess take the risk at your own risk. Now, everyone has different priorities, right? And that is perfectly fine, perfectly normal. Of course. Like, some people love clothes, so they'll want to bring more clothes. Some people have musical instruments that they want to bring. Others need to prioritize medication. So what you pack, what you bring over will look different naturally. So what I'm gonna do is like give you a list of the bare bones, the essentials, right? Things that you probably definitely should have in your suitcase when you're coming over here. But of course, like, add, take away at your own discretion. Like, it's your suitcase, Anyways, packing time. So let's start with clothes. Now it's gonna be summer when you get here. It's gonna be like top 30-degree, like 100% humidity, so it's hot, it's sticky. So keep that in mind when you are packing. So clothing, I would definitely try to just bring clothes that you can teach in, and for them to be more on the formal side. The dress code can look very different from school to school, even within like the same prefecture or within the same affiliated like university or something. So it will really depend on what either you get told or what you observe from other people. The safest bet though would be to go in there a bit more on the formal side. That way you can take it back a notch and be casual, then show up in casual and people will be like, what are you wearing? So these clothes look like your shirts, like your button shirts, collared shirts, polos, pants, slacks, longer skirts, and your suit, which you need for orientation. And then I'd go with some wardrobe basics. And then of course you're going to be in a different country, you want your nice, casual, comfy, feel good in what you're wearing clothes, right? Then if you are in a colder placement like Hokkaido, for example, winter is cold. So if you own a really nice warm winter jacket, I'd recommend bringing that over with you. Better yet, having someone send that over to you later so that it's not taking up so much room, but that would like save you than having to buy a new one. And then ladies, hello, if you have a bigger bust size, go out and buy bras. Okay, buy as many as you can. I am not overly large, but I am here. It's not impossible. It's just really hard and really expensive to find bras. So I would highly recommend spend the money, okay? Because girl, it's hard. It's hard. Next is shoes. If you have a larger shoe size, so like if you're a woman's 8 and up, and then from men's, I want to say it's like an 11. I don't fully know. I would try and bring as many pairs as you can. Again, not impossible, but definitely harder, especially like depending on where you're going to live. If you're in a city, especially a bigger one, it will be easier, still hard, but easier to find shoes that may fit you compared to elsewhere in smaller cities or like in the inaka, okay, the countryside. So I would definitely also keep that in mind. But shoes to bring, I mean, really you only need your shoes for like your suits or your fancy shoes. Good pair for walking around in, and then hey, if you want, like, you can bring indoor shoes. Depends on where you're going, again, foot size and everything. If you think you're gonna be fine, indoor shoes here, cheap. I am not from an indoor shoe school, so I can't speak from personal experience, but I can speak of experience from my friends, is that a lot of the teachers be like Crocs and stuff. They are super easy and super cheap to buy, so save your suitcase space and wait till you are here to get indoor shoes. And then of course, unless you have been told otherwise by a co-jet or a supervisor or something, so I would follow them first instead of me. Next is toiletries. Yay! Now you have probably heard this everywhere. I heard it too, and that is deodorant. Deodorant here, it's not strong, so I would highly recommend bringing deodorant over that you know, love and trust, because girl, it is hot the first like 2-3 months you are here. It's hot. You're gonna need that deodorant. Recommend, again, not impossible, just hard to find and expensive. Next is toothpaste. Apparently, I'm not sure. I brought lots of toothpaste over with me, so I haven't tried Japanese toothpaste. Apparently there's like no fluoride or something. I don't know. That sounds like it could be. And then hair treatment products. If you are a curly hair person, please bring your own products over, okay? Back home, I didn't do that much with my hair, okay? I still don't. But I had more products that I used, and I just thought, oh, she'll be right. She's not right. Those first months, I was walking around with freaking fluff everywhere. Again, it's not impossible to find hair care stuff. It's just really expensive. So if you have the room, bring as much as you can. Buy new bottles, new containers of that stuff and put it in, because Next is food. If you have any allergies or lots like me, please bring food. I have gone over this in more detail in a previous video about like the orientation guidelines, but I cannot eat a lot of food. The food that is provided for you in the buffet style, it's okay if you have like just one thing compared to multiple, and then if they get more obscure, then it's like there's like nothing you can eat. Really highly strongly recommend that you bring a lot of safe foods. On the plane, I was ravenous. So I ate like everything, and I had to like just, because again, I couldn't eat anything that the plane provided, right? So yeah, bring food. And if you have any questions, any worries about food, please ask me, because I know, I understand. I truly understand. I also have a new website. Yay, website! Oh my gosh, I love making it. But I have a website that has a lot of food allergy related stuff in it that could be very helpful, so I would recommend, obviously, because I made it. But I would definitely check it out, along with there's so many others out there on the internet as well. There's a lot of resources. Don't do what I did and assume it's gonna be fine, because it was hard to start. We're fine now though. Anyways, next is medication. I just went through this process with my mum, but it is a lot. It's a lot. You need to fill out a medication form if you are importing prescription medication, especially if it's like over a month. But regardless, if you're bringing prescription medication over, you do need to fill out this medical form to receive a medical certificate. The whole process is really frustrating, and it was hard to find correct websites. So while everything is still fresh in my browsing history, I'm going to link below the website that you need to go to make an account to fill out whatever they need from you, and then also a link for the example of how to fill out your medication. They have aspirin, and then they also have like an inhaler, but I would definitely start that as soon as you can, because it can take a lot of time for them to give you your certificate. I have heard that can take up to a month. I guess it will depend on the time of your application and also what you are putting on your application. Normally they're pretty quick, within about 1 to 2 weeks, but again, better safe than sorry, because you need your medication. Next is documents. Some people might not think about documents. I know for me it was very, very important. I pretty much viewed my departure from New Zealand as, I don't know when I'm going to be back, if at all. Let me take everything that is important for me in case, one, I live here or I go somewhere else and live there instead. I wanted everything close with me. So I had like my birth certificates, I had copies of passport, driver's license, a whole lot of other just important documentation like my diploma and stuff. So I brought that all over with me. And then next is like just your miscellaneous stuff. Whatever you love and makes you feel happy and can help you settle into your new life. I brought a literal toolbox filled with like my little wee guys. As soon as I bought my shelf, I was able to put everything up, and I brought a lot of my art stuff as well, because that is what I love and that's what I love to do. So definitely recommend bringing stuff that makes you happy. Of course, you want to feel at home while you're here. Okay, so that is kind of, again, it really is like your basic bare bones list. Next, I'm gonna quickly talk about packing. When you are at the airport, you need to send away all your luggage apart from a suitcase, carry-on suitcase, or like a massive duffel bag or something, and then you have a personal item. So 2 luggages, I guess you would call them. Everything else will get shipped off to either your school or your board of education, something along those lines. That means you're only able to take so much to the hotel, meaning you need to be pretty strategic about your packing. Now for orientation, you need, the first day everyone is in their suits. Okay, you need your suit for orientation. The next day, a lot of people, again, it's a very formal business, a lot of people just wore their suit again. I had my blazer, 2 button-up shirts, a pair of pants and a skirt. Then also you're sleeping, so you need something to sleep in, so pajamas. I was walking out each morning, so I had a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. I also had a plain white t-shirt, and I wore that and my long black skirt to go to my school, really. So that third day. Shoes, depends on your vibe, I guess, and what has been asked of you for your school, I suppose, when greeting, or what you've heard from your predecessor, your co-jet. I had my fancy shoes for the first 2 days of orientation. Third day, I had my sneakers. I went to school with my sneakers because I specifically got told from my supervisor, do not come in a suit. It is way too hot for that. I would definitely err, again, more on the formal side of attire. So that is what I brought. Use YouTube. So I used the packing cells and vacuum seal bags. I did multiple practice packs. I wanted as much shit to fit in my suitcase as possible. But now onto what I wish I packed and what I wish I didn't. First, what I wish I packed, you may have picked up the hints within the what to bring part of this video, and that is I wish I brought food. I wish I brought more food for myself. I wish in those first at least couple days I had food that I knew I could trust so that I wouldn't have gone hungry. Next is hair stuff. Okay, I literally had nothing. I just had shampoo and conditioner. It's the only hair stuff I had. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be able to find it. I did no research. And then another one that I'm on the fence about. I had a beautiful PC. I loved it so much, but I couldn't figure out how I'd be able to bring it over. I had thought about it, but just the logistics behind it, it didn't seem like it would work very well. So I ultimately sold it, and I'm here and I'm still kind of bummed about it, but then I'm thinking maybe it's a good thing because I feel if I did have it, I would be on my butt in my chair playing games, and I don't want to just play games while I'm here. Not to say I don't, literally bought a PlayStation. Then I guess things I wish I didn't bring, I don't really have anything. If I were to be really nitpicky, it would be the amount of copies of documents I made and brought over. Like I copied so many of my originals. I'm just like, girl, you didn't need all of this. I was thinking, like, what happens if, well, you know, if something happens, like, freaking out, you know, but they only really took up weight in my suitcase, so not really anything crazy. I feel I was very deliberate with what I was bringing over. Like, before I said I did so many practice packs. I was lucky to have the time. I literally was like doing jack all in the months between December and August. So I had the time, the luxury to be able to get rid of so much of my, pretty much all of my stuff, and pack what was needed really and perfect that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful. Again, any questions, please ask, but I will see you all in the next video. Yay! Bye!